Okay, I want to make myself a good tripod stand that I can combine with my third hand for my welder. So what I want is to attach this 1/2-inch stick of electrical metallic tubing, EMT, electrical tubing, to the camera mount. So the camera mount's a 1/4-20 bolt. You can use a 1/4-20 nut to hold stuff on there. And you can just hammer over the end of the tubing if you want, but it really is not that strong. Like if I grab it up a ways and you see it's just floppy, so I want something stronger. So what I want to do is weld a nut into the end of this tubing. Here's the nut that I'd like to use, but it's a sloppy fit. That's not going to work well. So what I want to do is take a little piece of tubing, kind of make it smaller, insert it in there, and then hopefully the nut will fit better and I can weld it all together. Okay, I'm going to use a conduit reamer here. It's an electrician's tool, so that one end will be not sharp metal. I experimented a little bit. It's about 1/2 inch you want to take off so that it'll fit inside a normal piece. A little bit less than 1/2 inch. And that's where I'll cut it. Okay, here's the piece that I cut. One side has a good finish, the other side is a little funky. Take my Harbor Freight wire strippers here and cut off the worst part. These wire strippers in general have very hard steel, so it's good for cutting other steel. Now we need to close this gap and kind of try and keep it into a circular form. Which means you got to kind of do it in pieces and keep an eye on it as you go. Just using some normal Craftsman made in USA pliers here. And then it's easy to get it out around like that, obviously. See if it fits. So, you know, if it fits and it doesn't like slip right in, I think that's pretty good. Okay, now I think I'd like it to be a slightly tighter fit, so to make it bigger, once you've made it too small, you just kind of stick a screwdriver in there like that. And that kind of makes it like a spring, like it's tensioned. There. Now, it's hard to push it in there. It's going to be hard to pull it out of there, so that works good. Alright, let's check the fit with the 1/4-20 nut. It goes in there, it moves around a little bit. I'm going to use this bolt to hold the nut in the right place. You can see, pretty good. Okay, it's a decent fit between the nut and the two layers of the electrical tubing, but it ain't perfect, and I had one fall straight through, so I ended up clamping it from the sides. And I clamped it on the points of the nut. That works a little better. The bolt acts as a handle for the nut, and it also helps to keep the welding stuff from getting into the nut and making it messed up. Alright, see what it looks like. There we go. Bolt came out easy, so I think the threads are okay. Okay, let's see if this will screw onto the top of the tripod here. It does. Feels pretty secure. This thing's like over 2 feet long, so that's a lot of leverage. I mean, if you start yanking on the top of that sucker, I'm sure you'd bust the tripod bolt, but anyways, better than it was. I'm liking it. Let's see how it works. Okay, so this thing is based on my welding third hand idea. You can check out the video. And basically it takes 1/2-inch tubing and it has thumb screws so you can move it in and out and offset it by 90 degrees. Now the welding third hand, I put some C-clamps on a 1-foot piece of EMT, and you know, that can hold a camera holder, which there's a video on how I made that too. But basically it's too much stuff. It's not needed for this just camera holding operation that I got going on, so I'm going to do something different than the C-clamp. Okay, my vise here is blacksmith vise, post vise, leg vise. And you can see that it has a leg that goes all the way down to the ground, and that's basically the back jaw. This one is attached to that post, and then it has this other part which has a half a leg that goes down a ways and then is kind of attached to the larger leg. And long story short, what that means is that you can use these, you can pound on these things like a blacksmith would. You know, you should have an anvil, a separate anvil as well, but you can kind of pound on these like an anvil, and it doesn't break them like it does a normal vise. So that's why I'm going to do some pounding on this sucker right now, because it's okay. Okay, so I want to do a 1/4-inch hole in the end of this tubing. So I'm going to make it flat. Now, you can turn it over and pound each side equally, and then the hole will be in the middle, you know, compared parallel to the tubing. But for me, it's better if it's just on one side, so I'm just going to pound all on one side. And so there, still kind of in the middle, but it certainly will work. And there we go. We got a flat spot. We can do whatever we want. I'm going to make myself a hole that's big enough for a 1/4-20 bolt to go through. Okay, let's check it with a 1/4-20 bolt. Seems like that'll work. Okay, well, so we got the piece here, got the hole for attaching the camera mount, pretty much whatever camera mount you want to do. I got the welding third hand thing going here, so you can adjust the heights. But I want the camera about here. Oh no, it's too short. What shall I do? Well, luckily, I have some of these EMT, electrical tubing, couplings. So, I'm not going to tighten it down right now, but, you know, just hit that with a screwdriver and you're set. But basically, you can make it any length you want now. Although you can't go past that with the third hand device. So, that should work good. Okay, let's attach the camera holder. I'll show you. Here's how you do the coupling. If you hold this piece where you want, when you're done screwing them in, it doesn't look so terrible like it's just hanging there. Okay, now, it's funny, this is going to be a grade 8 bolt that we're using here. Why? Because I reached into my box of bolts and this is what came out. Okay, here's my camera mount. And let's attach it to the holder here. And then basically that'll be it. I'd show you putting the camera in there, except for the camera is filming me, so I can't.